Almost trying to lengthen out through your spine. Bringing your chin to your chest a few centimeters, lengthening the back of your necks. Settling with your hands on your lower belly. Starting to feel into the weight of your body. At this point, if you would like to put a blanket over yourself, feel free to do that to get yourself even a little bit more comfortable. Just taking a few easy, comfortable breaths towards your belly. Relaxing the space in between your eyebrows. Soft eyes, soft cheeks, soft mouth. Relax your shoulders, your arms. Feel your entire spine making an imprint into your mat. Your bum nice and heavy on the mat. Dissolving tension around your hips, allow your knees to feel heavy like bricks dropping out to the side. Allow your feet to open up as the side edges of your feet press into your mat. Taking a few more slow, easy breaths. This time, maybe feel your belly rise just that little bit more, a little bit higher, a little bit fuller. In the next few moments, so in your own time, you can start to drag your arms back behind you, maybe reaching them overhead. Taking a big stretch, stretching through the tips of your fingers, lifting your shoulders up towards your ears. Take a big breath in, fill your belly with air. And as you breathe out, allow your shoulders to drop to the floor, your hands, the backs of your hands to rest heavy on the mat. On your next breath in, lift your rib cage up to the roof, really expanding and opening up, creating space through your rib cage as you continuously press your shoulders towards the ground. Creating more space in the midline of your body from your belly button up towards your chest. And allowing your entire body to soften down towards the mat. Taking a few more deep breaths. This time noticing that your belly maybe expands a little bit bigger than the previous couple of rounds. Making a big, joyful Buddha belly with your tummy. Taking a few more for good luck. Few more breaths, really expanding the belly sideways, pressing the belly button up towards the roof. On your next breath out, pull your belly in and draw your knees back together again. Walk your heels in nice and close to your bum. Keep pressing your lower back into the floor as you start to draw your knees to your chest to make a tabletop position with your legs so that you can balance a cup of tea on your shins. Slowly lifting your feet and then straightening both legs up towards the roof. Straightening out, we'll start to point and flex through the toes, the feet, pointing the toes up to the roof, then drawing the toes down towards your face. Continuing with a few more rounds in your own time, one at a time, maybe both at the same time. Separate your feet about hip distance apart, maybe a little bit wider, starting to rotate the ankles. It doesn't matter, whichever way, clockwise, anti. Maybe you're experiencing a feeling of a few clicks. See if you can challenge yourself to go extra slow this morning, really feeling into every little part of your foot, your ankle, maybe the side of your leg. Bring your heels to touch, open your feet wide like Charlie Chaplin feet. Applying a little bit of pressure into the heels, try to pull your toes even further apart from each other. Start to open your legs wide, straddling them. Reach your hands up to the sky. Lift up through your head and your chest, trying to press your lower back, your middle back down into the ground, maybe even moving a little bit from side to side with your shoulders. Draw your knees to your armpits, so bending into your knees, draw them to your armpits, squeeze them in, squeeze them in, squeeze them in. Take your hands and hold on to the outsides of your feet, meaning your elbows will stay on the insides of your knees. As you pull your feet down and pull your knees to your armpits, place your head back down to the floor. Happy baby position, maybe rocking yourself from side to side. Just finding a little bit of movement in the happy baby. Maybe even straightening out one leg, bending into the opposite knee, straightening out the other leg, bending into that opposite knee. Getting a bit more playful, we'll start to rock ourselves from side to side, almost falling all the way over towards one side and then pulling yourself back up to center, giving yourself a little challenge. Until you can finally rock yourself while holding onto your feet all the way over onto a side. Releasing your hands, you can start to press yourself up onto your bums. Sitting more towards the back of your mat, straightening both legs out in front of you. Bending into your right knee, draw your right knee into your chest, get the heel nice and close to your right bum, and then folding and flopping the right knee out to the side, half butterfly. Reach both arms up towards the roof. Turn your pinkies in towards one another and soften your shoulders away from your ears. Allow the shoulders to draw down away from your ears. Twist about 3 centimeters over towards your right leg. Sitting up a little bit taller, twist slightly more, another 3 centimeters. Breathing in, sitting up a little bit taller. Now twist all the way over towards your left leg. Come back through the center. And on your breath out, folding forward over your left thigh. Taking your hands down either onto the mat or maybe holding onto your leg or onto your foot. You can gaze up to your front big toe or maybe allow your chin to drop down towards your chest. Again, just reminding those shoulders to soften away from the ears, releasing any tension around your mouth, your jaw. Taking time to notice your breath. On your in-breath, creating space in your body, and on your out-breath, allowing yourself to deepen, to dive into that space that you've just created. Really grounding down through your right sit bone. Maybe even try to push your right knee down towards the ground or towards your mat. Opening up more space around your hips. Lifting your gaze to your front big toes. Start to stretch your chest forward towards your big toe. Almost like you're trying to aim to put your belly button up and over your left knee. Chin to chest, rolling yourself back up again. Drawing your right knee back into your chest. Flipping the foot around, so you're going to kick the right foot back behind you, allowing the right knee to come towards the left knee, the inner thighs squeeze together for half hero's pose. At this point, if you feel a little bit of pressure in your ankle, maybe take your foot a little bit further away from your bum, maybe use the blanket underneath your ankle. And a really good option to do is to put either a block or a pillow underneath your left bum. Find your comfortable position here. When you're ready, you can very slowly start to walk your hands back behind you. Maybe bending into the elbows, leaning slightly backwards. Or if it's in your practice, you can start to lower yourself down into your elbows. If it's in your practice, you can even take your arms over your head and lie down. Take it easy, this is quite a big stretch. What generally happens is that the lower back starts to pull away from the floor. So again, scooping your palms forward to bring the lower back into the ground. Lengthening over the top of your right leg from the right hip. Pressing the right knee forwards and down into the ground. Taking a few more big breaths. See if you can pop your rib cage. So blow your rib cage up like it's a balloon reaching up for the roof. Almost feeling as if you're pulling the rib cage open, pulling it open sideways. And then pushing your rib cage back down into your bodies. One more time, breathing in, opening up your chest. Push your rib cage up, widening through the rib cage. And as you breathe out, pull your ribs back into your body. Pull your belly button in. And from wherever your position is, you can start to make your way all the way back up again, safely out of this position. Moving over to the other side, you can release your right leg. Straightening it out, giving a little wiggle if that's what's needed. Draw your left knee in, give it a nice little squeeze in, get the heel nice and close to your bum. Sitting up nice and tall, maybe even flexing into your right foot. And then lowering and dropping the left knee out towards the left hand side. Reaching both arms up towards the roof. Turn your pinkies in towards one another. Try to squeeze your bum forward. We'll twist first towards the left hand side, about 3 centimeters. Really reaching out through the tips of your fingers. Twisting another 3 centimeters towards your left knee. On your next breath in, rotate all the way over to your right hand side. And as you breathe out, fold forward over your hips. Getting your hands down either onto the mat or onto your leg. Relaxing through the shoulders. Maybe taking a few wiggles. If you're watching Ro, you can see he likes to move a bit from side to side. That helps him to loosen up. Keeping your gaze soft and steady. We'll be here for a few moments, so you can completely surrender into this space. Maybe even moving your head from side to side, rolling through the neck. Just notice what you're feeling in this position through the hips, the back of the knee, the hamstring, maybe the back. We've got a few more joyful, big Buddha belly breaths here. Maybe you can even feel your belly expand over your right thigh. I really invite you guys to bring some joy, a little bit of lightness into your practice. So really just easing into it, melting into it, not taking it too seriously. And your next breath in, you can slowly start to bring yourself back up. And we'll flip the left leg around this time, drawing the knee into your chest, flipping it around. If you need the blanket under your ankle, your knee, maybe a blanket or a pillow underneath your right bum this time. So just taking your time to do your setup on this side like you did on the other side. Walking your hands back, you can either lean back, maybe just taking your gaze in front of you and slightly up towards the roof, trying to keep the back of the neck long still, as well as the front of the throat. Then making your way down as much as you need to or you would like to this morning. And it's also not an issue if you take time to progress in this. It's really important to sometimes give your body the opportunity to get into it first and to experience and to get used to a space. And then when your body is ready, not your mind, then you can move a little bit deeper from a place of knowing and a place of feeling. Welcome to close your eyes. You can even put a pillow or a block behind your upper back or your head. Again, just making sure that you're scooping your lower back if you're going all the way down. And for everyone, try to really lengthen out through the top of the left leg, over the left thigh, as if you're pointing and arrowing the left leg forward and pushing the knee down to the ground. And just notice what that does for you. Notice what it feels like when you open your knees a little bit wider. What it feels like when you bring your knees a little bit closer together. What it feels like when you lift your rib cage as to dropping it and pushing it back into the floor. See if you can find a rhythm with your breath, breathing in and out through your nose. Remember to come up a little bit higher if this is blocking your breath and there's not a lot of flow going on in your body at the moment. Stay patient, stay gentle, stay humble. We've got 3 more big belly breaths to go. Big happy Buddha bellies. Start to make your way back up again. So now you can either push yourself up onto your left knee to come up onto your all fours, or if you want to release the left leg and mermaid tail or merman tail your legs around, then you can just do that to come onto your knees. Bringing your hands underneath your shoulders, your knees underneath your hips, making a box shape with your body. Stepping your right foot back into a high plank, followed by your left foot lifting your hips up to the sky, coming into a downwards facing dog. Bending into one knee, straightening the opposite leg. Bending the other knee, straightening into that opposite leg. Walk it out, paddle it out, maybe spinning your heels from side to side. Bending nice and deep into your knees. Push your belly to your knees or your thighs, almost trying to touch your nose to your big toes. And then very slowly start to straighten out the legs. Very, very slowly, slow motion. Not getting them all the way straight, just feeling into it. Coming forward, place your knees down onto the mat. Bring your shoulders forward over your wrists. Keep your belly and your butt up. Bring only your chin and your chest down onto the ground. Pull yourself forward and through to come lie down onto your belly, releasing the backs of your feet. Press lightly into your hands. As you breathe in, lift your chest and your head up away from the floor. Hug your elbows together. Lowering yourself down to the ground. Using the strength of your arms to push yourself back up onto your knees. Nice, strong, straight plank body. Pull your toes in underneath. Sit back into a child's pose. Bum onto the heels. Forehead goes down to the ground. Really spreading those fingers wide, gripping into the mat. On your next breath in, lift your hips up to the sky. Either rippling and rolling forward or just placing your knees down to the ground. Bring your shoulders forward over your wrists. Get your chin and your chest to the floor. Let your elbows squeeze into your rib cage. Slide yourself through like a little worm. Press into your hands. Lift your chest up. This time maybe pressing up a few extra centimeters up higher. Directly bring your chin to your chest. Keep pushing yourself back onto your knees. Lift your bum. Squeeze your belly. Curl your toes in underneath. Sit your bum onto your heels. Bring your forehead down to the ground. On your next breath in, lift your hips up to the sky. Press the heels down towards your mats. Breathe in, bring your knees down to the ground. As you breathe out, chin and chest comes down to the floor. Slide yourself through, breathe in, lift your chest, press into the hands, back of the neck, long, gazing softly forward. Chin to chest, keep pushing yourself back onto your knees, bum to the heels, curl those toes under, sit back into your child's pose. Taking a few easy breaths, feeling the weight of your forehead heavy on the mat, maybe even rolling your head from side to side, giving yourself a nice massage over the forehead. On your next breath in, lift your hips up to the sky, meeting me back in downwards facing dog. Step your feet wide onto the outside edges of your mat. Slowly start to walk your hands back towards your feet. Hanging heavy in a forward fold, allow your head to drop, your gaze to go back in between your legs. Maybe even shifting your weight backwards and forwards onto your heels and onto your toes. Bending into your knees, start to lower your bum down. Moving in for a squat position, low yogi squat. Seesawing your chest up. Keep the tips of your fingers down on the ground. Use your bum muscles to pull your knees away from each other, so further opening them up like we did in the butterfly position with our legs when we were lying on our backs. Walk your hands a little bit further forward out in front of you, lowering your chin to your chest. Try to gaze back and through your legs. If you guys find that your heels are coming off the floor, maybe rolling the back of your mat up or placing 2 blocks underneath your heels, or maybe placing your heels on pillows. Walking your hands back again or sliding them back. Coming into Pray-Mantis, so setting up your best impression of a praying mantis, one hand up, one hand down, getting ready for battle. Still finding stillness and remaining calm under pressure. You might feel a little bit of pressure building. Find the steadiness through your breath. Settle into the stillness. Really channeling equanimity, strength, focus. Bringing your hands down to the ground, you can walk them back forward into a plank position. And finally, lifting your hips back up into a downwards facing dog, releasing through the hips. Placing your knees down to the ground, your feet stay wide. Your knees come onto the outside edges of your mat. And then bringing your big toes together, pushing yourself back into a child's pose. Wiggling your bum from side to side as if rolling your right butt cheek to your right heel, your left butt cheek to your left heel. Meeting me back in your downwards facing dog. Shifting weight onto your left foot, you're going to lift your right leg up to the sky. Bending into your right knee. Open your right knee up to the side. Try to squeeze your left butt with your right heel. Lift up as high as you can onto your left toes. Bring your right knee into your chest. Try to squeeze your knee to your forehead. And then step that foot up as high as you can, up and in between your hands. If you step short, use your hand around your ankle to bring your foot forward. Place your back knee down to the floor, releasing the back toe. Applying a bit of pressure into your left fingertips, coming up onto the left fingertips. Reach your right arm forward. So first we'll start out with a nice straight back here. Try to stretch your fingertips further out in front of you, lifting your hand up in line with your shoulder. That's it. As you keep reaching forward, you will notice that your hips are sinking down towards the ground. Reaching your right arm up to the sky. Bending the elbow, bring your right hand behind your head for support. Taking a light twist, twisting open towards your right hand side, lightly leaning backwards. Pointing the elbow up towards the roof. Taking a big breath in. As you breathe out, twist down to the ground, pointing your elbow down towards the mat onto the inside of your right foot. Take your chin down towards your chest, rounding into your back. Pull your belly button into your spine. Breathing in, twisting open towards your right hand side, pointing the elbow up, leaning backwards. Try to squeeze your right knee into your chest. And then opening the right knee, maybe even coming onto the outside edge of the right foot. Taking a big breath in as you breathe out, twist your body to the left as you point your elbow down onto the inside of your right foot. Chin to chest, really rounding your back. Allow the back of your hand to rest in the back of your head, allowing for a little bit of extra weight. Breathing in, opening up your chest, twist. Allow the right knee to open up to the right side as much as feels comfortable for you. One more big breath in. And as you breathe out, pointing the elbow back down to the ground. Bring your right elbow onto the outside of your right knee. Draw the right knee into your right armpit. Place your right hand back down to the ground. Curl your back toes in underneath, straightening out your back leg. Pressing into the ground, step back into your high plank. Lowering yourselves down to the ground, so either knees, chin, chest, or if you would like to practice any other variation. Slide through, lifting up your chest. Into a cobra, pulling the shoulders away from the ears. Pushing yourself back through the child's pose with the toes curled under. And then lifting your hips back up into a downwards facing dog. Left leg reaches high, bending the knee, opening the hip up. Like a puppy taking a little wee on a fire hydrant. Lifting nice and high onto your right toes, draw your left knee into your chest. Lift the knee up, 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 look in between your hands and step the foot forward in between your hands. Lowering your back knee down to the ground, release the back foot. Balancing on your right fingertips this time. Maybe take a moment to bounce backwards and forwards a little bit with the hips. If you're watching row, maybe making a few rotations or maybe just bouncing backwards and forwards. When you're ready, reaching your left arm forward ahead of you. Keep reaching, reaching, reaching as if someone's handing you something. Keeping the back of your neck nice and long, stretching the crown of your head forward. This time on this side, let's try something. Try to drag that back knee forward onto your mat. So really pressing the back foot, the back shin, the back knee down into your mat and dragging it forward. Notice what you feel. Circle the left arm up to the sky. Bending into your elbow, take your hand behind your head for support. Twisting this time towards your left hand side. Try to be a little bit lighter on your right hand. Taking a nice big breath in. As you breathe out, twist, taking the left elbow, pointing it down towards your mat, onto the inside of the left foot, chin to chest. Breathing in, opening up the elbow. Lean slightly back, maybe allowing yourself to come onto the outside edge of the left foot. Big breath in as you breathe out. Twist through the midline, bringing the left elbow down to the ground, chin to the chest. Pull your belly in, pull your ribcage in and up to your body, to your spine. One more time, breathing in, opening up. Deep breath in as you breathe out, bring the elbow back down. Take your left elbow onto the outside of your left knee. So you're going to really press down into your left big toe. Pull your left knee into the chest, to the midline of your chest. Releasing your left hand down to the floor onto the outside of your left foot, straightening out your back leg. Pushing into your hands, breathe in, step back into your high plank. Lower yourself down to the ground, squeezing the bum, the belly. Breathing in to lift your chest up, push through your hands. Chin to chest, you're going to roll back, either pressing up straight or pushing onto your knees. Curl your toes underneath, bum to the heels, forehead goes down to the ground. Lifting your hips back up into your downwards facing dog. Right leg reaches high, bend your knee, open your hip up. Right foot comes and steps forward in between your hands, lowering your back knee down to the ground. Right arm reaches forward out in front of you. Circle it all the way up towards the roof and pause there as soon as your hand reaches directly over your shoulder. Maybe even turning your gaze up towards your top middle finger. Lean slightly backwards, maybe about 20%, puffing your chest and your heart up towards the ceiling. Maybe allowing the right knee to drop out, or if you want to make it slightly more active this morning, draw the right knee into your chest. On your next breath in, you can bring your right hand down onto the outside of your right foot. Stepping back into your high plank, roll forward into your toes. First, get those shoulders over your wrists and lower yourselves down to the ground. Breathing in to expand and open up through your chest like you're doing a mini back bend. Create space over your heart space. And then meeting me back, you can either roll through a child's pose or directly push yourself back up into a downwards facing dog. Left leg reaches high, bending the knee, opening the hip up. Left foot comes and steps forward in between your hands. Lowering your back knee down to the ground. Reach your right arm forward this time. Sorry, left arm forward this time. Thanks, Ro. Left arm reaches up to the sky. That's it. Pause when the shoulder and the hand is in one line with each other. Maybe leaning back, maybe even moving your head, changing the angle of your head and your neck just to find that space that feels comfortable for you. Or maybe you feel a little bit of a release and an opening. Sometimes our necks get quite tight after a night's rest. Leaning a little bit of weight into your right hand as you open up, maybe leaning back about 20%, maybe 30%. And bringing yourself back, framing your left hand down with your left foot, step back into your high plank. Roll forward onto your toes, squeeze your elbows into your side rib cage as you lower yourself down. Breathing in to open your chest, lift up, lifting up as high as you can. And then meeting me back in your downwards facing dog. Right leg reaches back into a three-legged split dog. Right foot comes and steps forward in between the hands. Back knee goes down to the ground. Right arm reaches forward, circling up and around, back behind you. This time so that you can look back towards your back thumb. You can either stay here or you can bend into the back knee, hold onto the ankle of the foot. Take an opportunity maybe to put the blanket or the pillow or something underneath your back knee if it's taking a bit of pressure. Working through the rotation of the spine, thinking of the lower back, the middle back, as well as the upper back. See if you can bring a few centimeters or a few millimeters of rotation around the spine. Pulling your belly button in, using the strength of your belly to twist yourself just that little bit more. With the back hand, the one that's holding the foot, see if you can pull that heel just a little bit closer towards your bum. Gently releasing into the back foot, circle your back arm forward, framing your front foot. Straightening out your back leg, step back into your high plank and moving through your vinyasa, lowering down. Big breath in as you scoop up. Breath out as you meet me back in your downwards facing dog. Left leg reaches high, bend your knee, open your hip up. Come and step your left foot forward and in between your hands, lowering the back knee down. Circle your left arm forward, up and all the way around to behind you, gazing back towards your back thumb. Checking in with your back knee so that it's comfortable. Either stay here or maybe bending into your back knee, holding onto your ankle or your foot. Pressing down through the back knee, which would be your right knee, and try to drag it slightly forward. And as you kick with your back foot into the hand that's holding the foot, try to pull with the foot into, or the hand into the foot rather. So the foot is kicking back into the hand. At the same time, the hand is pulling the foot towards the bum. If you're in the twist, please try to really sit up and lengthen up tall, whether you've got the foot or not. Try to really twist around the spine, pulling the belly, opening up through the rib cage, opening up, maybe twisting your back shoulder a little bit further back behind you. Staying with a few more big belly breaths. I know this one is a killer. And you can slowly release the back foot, circling your back arm down and around onto the mat. Pushing and meeting me back in a plank position, holding a nice strong plank. Squeezing your legs, your bum, your belly, roll forward onto your toes. Squeeze your elbows in as you lower yourself down on the out breath. On the in breath, find your flow, lifting up through your chest, shoulders drop away from the ears. Moving back, meeting me in your downwards facing dog. From your down dog, rolling back forward into your high plank. Steady high plank. Rocking backwards and forwards, so pointing your toes, bringing your shoulders forward over your wrists, and then pushing your heels back behind you. Pointing the toes, bringing your heels forward, and then pushing the heels back behind you. One more time, pointing the toes forward. Keep the hips down in line with the shoulders, push the heels back. Point forward, push your heels forward, and we'll lower down. So either using your knees or keeping your legs straight, lowering yourselves down to the ground, slowly 4, 3, 2, 1. Releasing the backs of your feet. You can slide your elbows forward for Sphinx position, placing your forearms down onto the ground. Your elbows are directly underneath your shoulders. Palms are pressing firmly down into the ground, spreading your fingers nice and wide. Drag your elbows back towards you. Feel as if your shoulders at the back want to give each other a little hug. squeezing into your bum. Try to peel and lift your belly away from the floor. Keep pulling your chest forward through your shoulders. Moving through a few rounds of rolling sphinx. Take your chin to your chest. Push into your hands and your forearms. Start to lift your belly even further away from the mat. Start to lift your hips off away from the ground. Keep gazing to your belly till you're on your knees. You can either stay here or you can lift your knees off the ground, staying on the backs of the feet. If you're on the backs of the feet, lower the knees down. For the rest of you guys, keep coming down with us, placing your hips down to the floor, your belly down to the floor, lifting your chest up, gazing back forward. Take a big breath in. As you breathe out, take your chin to your chest, pull your belly in, lift your hips off the ground, either staying on your knees or lifting your legs completely off the floor. Rolling back down, getting the knees, the hips, the belly down to the floor, lifting up through your chest, gazing forward. Moving through a few more rounds in your own time. The core should start to heat up a bit now. Maybe the arms. One more round. And meeting me back in Sphinx. Okay, taking your left hand and slide it in underneath the gap of your right armpit and behind your right elbow. Slide it through. Slide the hand as far through as you can. Slide it, crawl the fingertips away from you. And then just rolling a little bit down onto your left shoulder. See if you can keep the right elbow down on the ground. That's it. You can just let your head hang heavy like an anchor, anchoring you down to the ground. So it's a half cross with the arm, the left arm underneath the right arm. Sliding your right knee up towards your left hand. So you'll bend into your right knee, sliding it up towards your left hand. Try to keep the right knee down on the ground as much as you can, and then rolling yourself onto your back. So you'll roll towards your left shoulder. Maybe even placing your left hand onto your right knee, and then opening up your right arm to the side. So you can take the left hand, placing it onto your right knee, taking the right arm out to the side, and then turning your gaze back towards your right shoulder. Feeling into a nice supine twist. Taking a few easy belly breaths. Rolling yourself back onto your bellies. You can take that furthest arm that's away from you, bring it forward, rolling yourself back, sliding the right knee down to the ground, lifting yourself back up into full Sphinx position, coming back up onto your left forearm. This time the right arm slides through underneath the left arm, coming down onto your right shoulder, maybe even bringing your right ear to the ground as if you're listening to the mat, or just bringing your forehead to the floor, maybe your chin to your chest. Take it easy, maybe use a pillow here underneath your shoulder or your head if you need to. Sliding your left knee up towards your right hand this time. Trying to keep the hips and the knees grounded, you can slowly start to roll yourself onto your backs. Reaching your left arm out to the side, either straightening it or cactusing the arm. Right hand goes onto the left knee. And let's rather focus on getting the left shoulder off the ground, onto the ground, getting the left shoulder on the ground, even if the left knee is lifting away from the floor. If you find that your bottom leg is completely shifted and you would like to realign, maybe just getting your bottom hip, your heel, and your shoulders in one straight line. Closing your eyes. A few easy breaths, maybe even turning your gaze back towards your left palm. Rolling yourself all the way onto your backs. You'll lift your left knee towards your chest. If you're rolling off your mat, it's okay. You can either stay off your mat or maybe just bring yourself back onto it till you're lying down on your back. Maybe grab your blankets if you need to. Coming in for corpse position. Curl your tailbone in underneath, again pressing your lower back into the floor. You can either end this class off like we started it, with the soles of the feet together and the knees wide, or maybe the legs long. Maybe you prefer to lie on your side or with the soles of the feet on the floor. Maybe taking a pillow or a block and placing it underneath your bum, your shoulders, your head. Wherever you are, just get nice and comfortable. Either resting your hands down your sides or maybe on your belly or chest. Close your eyes. Allow your shoulders to soften down and away from your ears. Softening the space in between your eyebrows. Soft cheeks, soft mouth. Opening up the mouth just a few centimeters. Moving your jaw from side to side, maybe even pulling your chin down towards your chest. Soft ears, soft throat, soft neck. Relaxing your shoulders, your arms, your wrists, your hands. Backs of the hands nice and heavy on the mat, or maybe heavy on your body. Each part of the muscles in your back start to relax, start to melt, creating an imprint with your back on the floor. Your hips nice and heavy and relaxed, your thigh muscles soft. Soft knees, relaxing those knees, your calves, relaxing your ankles. Relax and soften your feet, the tops of your feet, the bottoms of your feet, and all 10 of your toes. Allow those pinky toes to be nice and heavy and tired as they drop out to your mat. Bringing your focus, your attention to the tips of your ears. Just allowing your awareness to softly rest on the tips of your ears, not getting too involved with it. Just allowing yourself to rest there. Your temples will soften, relax. Starting to invite slightly deeper, fuller breaths back into your bodies. Filling up your lungs, your belly. Breathing down your arms into your wrists and your hands. Breathing down your hips, down your legs, to your ankles and your feet. Very gently start to roll yourself over towards your left or your right hand side, just like you would lie on your bed completely comfortable. If you choose and prefer to stay here for a few more moments, you can stay. But if you're ready to finish your practice off, you can slowly start to bring yourself up onto your bums, keeping your eyes closed, your body nice and heavy. We sit up nice and tall, sinking our weight back into our sit bones, relaxing the shoulders away from the ears. Reaching with both arms up to the sky. Taking a big breath in, putting a light smile on your face, showing your palms to touch. Another big breath in. As you breathe out, slide your hands down past your forehead, your nose, your mouth. Landing your hands right in front of your heart center as we humbly lower our chins down towards our chest. Let's take one deep, big collective breath together. Big breath in. And as we breathe out, we bow down. We thank each other for showing up for the class this morning. And you guys must have a beautiful day further. Thank you so much for joining me in Row for this morning's class. Hope that we guys will see you sometimes in the week. It was really awesome practicing with everyone and seeing you guys. And I hope you're staying safe. If you want to chat a bit, I'm going to leave my screen on if you want to put your audio on. So cool to see you guys and just to be able to spend a little bit of time with you. Otherwise, enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you so much for practicing with us. We'll see you guys next time. Thank you very much. Thanks, guys. Thank you. Thanks, guys. Any feedback is also welcome. We love to hear from you guys. Let us know how you are. Guys, really, if you have any questions, anything regarding the practice or literally really anything, if you have any questions, please drop us a message. Michelle said